Jupiter transiting the third house cusp or sending the trine aspect towards the third house cusp, which happens every 3-4 years, this influence, sometimes less, sometimes more often. But Jupiter transits the third house itself once every 12 years. And what is the influence of that? How do you feel it? Well, wherever Jupiter transits, wherever it passes or aspects influences auspiciously, this is where we're inspired to act, where we feel like we can make it, where you get up and you have an inspiration, right? I'll do it now. You don't do it because you're pressured into it, because you feel inadequate in some way and you want to compensate. Just the opposite. You go and do things because inner inspiration and awakening happens in you. And the third house is known in astrology as the difficult house because it's the house of difficulties, of learning new things. When you have to learn something new, it's always a difficulty, isn't it? How often do we have the courage to go and do bungee jumping, or to go and start learning Chinese, or to go and start dancing tango? All these things, you need to gather up a lot of courage. And when Jupiter transits or triggers the third house cusp, these are the periods when actually no one has to push you from outside, but you get an inner inspiration, an inner motivation and excitement to go and initiate new things, to learn new things. Third house, the house of learning new things. So, for instance, for me, transited 2 years ago, Jupiter, the third house. So I started learning a brand new. I told to myself I have to learn technique, astrological technique, that I'll be able to answer everyone's questions for 5 minutes, and I had to restructure my astrological knowledge, and I had to, I started learning also time management things and website building. I had to learn all those things, website building, hiring people, all these things that I've been always afraid to. When Jupiter transits in my third house, I learned them, like new skills come to you and you're not afraid. I threw myself in. I started doing social media courses, astrology courses, everything which was going to help me optimize my website, my business. And it doesn't always have to be something which is too productive for you that you learn. It might be something that, you've always wanted to do, like learn to play the violin, and Jupiter transit your third house, and you find yourself in the right circumstances, with the right enthusiasm, and with the right opportunity to start doing this. So use it to expand your skills. Third house is the house of skills, anything which you can use, that can be anything that you can learn which will be of use for you later in some ways, And Jupiter helps you expand all of these. Third house is the house of the lower mind, the rational mind, the mind that arranges, schedules, makes, plan, communicates with others, answers emails. And when Jupiter triggers it, this area of your life might become much more busy, might be an area of growth for you. I started receiving 200 emails a day when Jupiter transited my third house, from being pretty much inactive and wondering what to do for 12 hours a day. Before that, it's like all of a sudden I got so busy, especially with correspondence, with communications, with people calling me, friends, clients, whatever. It's just, you get busy. Third house is the house of business as well, busyness, So your life gets more busy, but you actually thrive in it because Jupiter helps you welcome it. And even for those of you who are usually more lazy, they don't like much movement and much stimulation, Jupiter, when transiting the third house, they welcome more of it. Usually, they find themselves more welcoming to communication, to getting busy with new things and ideas, learning new things, expanding their networks of friends and co-workers. So expanding the networks of the people you communicate on a daily basis. This is when I started hiring people for the website. This is when I started reaching out to others and making a community, astrological community. Of course, everyone, for you, it will work in whatever area of your life you're, putting your primary activity and primary interest. For me, it worked in the astrological area and business, but for even if you're not in career person, because if you're a career person, usually it increases your business connections, it increases your busyness in business. You can make new clients, new communications. You can be much more busy sorting out emails and sorting out administrative tasks in your business. But even if you're not a business person, it just your daily life becomes more curious. Your mind is more stimulated to learn new things, to open up, to be more adventurous. You might even have more optimistic state of mind than at other times, because third house, as we said, is your thinking, and Jupiter is a very expansive, optimistic, and kind of I can do it. It has an I can do it attitude and feel about it. So you see what a positive influence such a transit can have in one's life. And you can use it also as a time when you feel, even if you're someone who has more sedentary lifestyle, when Jupiter transit the third house, you might become more active, maybe go to the gym, work out more, maybe go for long walks, because third house is the house of walking and movement as well. Maybe learn to dance. I did that. I was walking a lot when Jupiter was transiting my third house, and then I stopped when it finished. But anyway, third house is also the house of siblings and teamwork. Team workers, people that you cooperate with to get something done with, like teammates, like co-workers. So when Jupiter transits in the third house, you can be more productive by cooperating and team working with others, by joining together a few heads and brainstorming and tackling a problem. This is when the idea for hiring psychics, online psychics and astrology came to, and I started working in that direction, and it paid off pretty well, because wherever Jupiter triggers a house or home, astrologically speaking, and if you act on this, it will give positive results. It will give positive results, at least for the time being that you do it, but usually in the long run of your life as well, for foreseeable future ahead. And for me, that was a great step ahead, so teaming up, cooperating with others, expanding your network can be very productive in this period. Also, you can, as I said, meet more friends, more people to not only to cooperate with, but as people to exchange ideas with and people to get inspiration from. As I said, teamworking is positive during this period. Also, relationships with siblings can improve. If you've been having problem with your siblings and non-talking terms, or you've been having some tension, this is the period when this can be smoothed out and the relationship can improve. Or you can even do something productive together with your siblings or your friends. You can cooperate with friends and do something productive and positive. And also third house rules relatives, so something good can be coming in your life through the medium of your relatives, or you can have more intensified communication with your relatives, which in some way is positive for you. But anything, good things, Jupiter is the planet of bliss, so our bliss can be coming from siblings, from teamwork, from teammates, from playmates if you're younger, or even if you're older, the people that you go out partying with, the people that that you get together with to communicate, to share ideas, to have fun with, these kind of people, the third house. This is where your blessings are coming from, and this is where you're expanding your experience in your life right now. And third house is also, on the last mundane things, it rules is travel. As we said, third house rules movement here and there, It's the mind. Initially, the third house is the mind, but the mind is the most mutable thing. It moves so much. So also, when your mind is triggered, you start moving about as well. You start, when the mind starts moving, also it can take the whole physical body after it moving as well. So third house is the house of travel. So you can find yourself galloping much more to and fro, getting much more busy with your daily travels. I was traveling up to 11 times a year during that year that Jupiter was transiting my third house. I traveled, I think, almost every month to a different country or on short trips here and there. So this is another option that can happen for you. I think we covered pretty much everything. You become more optimistic. You start you can make much more contacts and connections during this time. You can learn new things. Don't miss this opportunity, because it might be quite a long time before you again have the courage and um, let's say, the inspiration to open yourself to new experiences and to learn something new, which can be of use for you later. Thank you.